Malcolm Robinson is a founder member of Strange Phenomena Investigations, an organisation that carries out active paranormal and UFO research and has held regular public meetings since 1989. A prolific lecturer, Malcolm is famed for his lively presentations on UFO and other inspirational topics, and has spoken extensively in England, Scotland and Ireland. Articles by Malcolm have appeared in many of the world's UFO and paranormal magazines. He has assisted many of the UK's national and regional newspapers in connection with stories concerning ghosts, spirits, poltergeists and UFOs, and has also been interviewed by many of the UK's radio stations. Malcolm, how did you become interested in strange phenomena?
Well, I've always been interested in strange phenomena ever since I was a youngster. Eagerly bought up all the books I could on the various aspects of the weird and the wonderful. And I decided that if ever I was going to learn anything more about these fascinating subjects, then I would have to become more actively involved. And this I did. I joined various societies, one of which was BUFORA, which is the British UFO Research Association. I was a press officer for quite a number of years. But in 1979 I formed my own society entitled Strange Phenomena Investigations. Now, the aims of SPI are basically to collect, research and publish accounts relating to most aspects of strange phenomena and to purposely endeavour to try and come up with some answers to account for what at present eludes us. We at SPI do not hold or express any preconceived ideas as to the nature of these events. We tend to keep an open mind. But I guess also it was part of a number of weird things as I was a youngster, Mark, that it happened to me that really made me wonder about the universe, wonder about why these things operate. And I think it was that initial incidents when I was younger that sparked that interest. And that's why it's been the same interest of all these years down the line.
So what was that spark when you were younger? Was it a variety of things or one specific moment?
It was a variety of things, Mark, that's correct. And very, very briefly, we'll just go through some if we may. One of them is when I was a youngster. I was probably about 8 or 9. I was playing football in a school playing field. And it was a beautiful summer's day in Scotland, which is a rarity, but and lovely sky, clear sky, and then suddenly my friend stopped and says, "What's that?" And they pointed up into the air, and there was this magnificent, beautiful, oval object, which clearly wasn't an aircraft, which clearly wasn't a helicopter. And I always remember, even at that young age, looking at this thing and being mesmerised by this thing, which had no wings or tail fins or anything, just moving very, very slowly in the sky. I took my gaze away from it for a couple of seconds, looked back up, and it was gone, completely gone. To this day, we don't know where it went. As
a founder member of SPI, can you explain a little about what your organisation wants to achieve since it was founded in 1979 and what your lectures involve?
Well, the prime aim of SPI is obviously to investigate claims pertaining to the paranormal. By the same token, SPI are also here to unmask any fraudulent mediums, to unmask any shenanigans, if I can use that word, in the paranormal and psychic field. Because at the end of the day, I started off, even though I had these early incidents, I started off to disprove the subject of ghosts, to disprove the subject of the paranormal. Because even though I had several incidents myself, I just didn't think there were any validity to them. It's like anything else in life, Mark. Once you start really putting yourself forward in this track, then yes, there's a lot of shenanigans, yes, there's a lot of charlatans out there ready to pull the wool over your eyes. But I soon found out that there is no smoke without fire. That there clearly were a substance, a nucleus of phenomena that clearly defied explanation. And I'm not a scientist by any name, I'm not a physicist or anything of those nature's capabilities at all. But I can safely say that there's something very bizarre operating in this universe of ours. And we know so very, very little about ourselves. And it's to these mysteries that SPI were more or less organised for, to look at these phenomena. We've travelled all over the UK. You mentioned lectures there. The main point of SPI as well is for myself and my colleagues to get up on that stage, be it Southampton, be it Swindon, wherever, and talk to the people and tell them what's going on and let them make up their own minds and show them all the photographs, the video footage, Because we're living in the Steven Spielberg age of DreamWorks laboratory, Mark. You know that. You're a filmmaker. Anything can be manipulated onto a computer screen to look fanciful.
I've always said the old thing about the camera never lies doesn't apply anymore with digital technology. Try it in Photoshop and you're well away. Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. Thankfully, the same technology can be used to prove a ghost photograph or a UFO photograph. Edge enhancement, colour contouring, pixel separation, black and white. All that technology can be used, and thankfully a lot of that technology has proven that there's a number of photographs of ghosts, for instance, that stood the test of time. The Rainham Hall ghost is one, for instance. But fascinating stuff, yeah.
You built up an impressive collection of reports and eyewitness statements. What is your take on A, really life after death, and B, the phenomena of UFOs?
Well, life after death, again, I was very sceptical, as I've just already mentioned. And certain incidents, certain happenings in my life and speaking to people changed that. Changed that big style. I firmly believe that mankind survives the death of their physical material body. I do believe that there is a condition where each and every one of us will go, where each and every one of us will meet those who has went before, our fathers, our mothers, our brothers and sisters. Of course we can then go into reincarnation. I remember writing a letter to the Psychic News, a chap called Maurice Barbineau, who's dead now, and I says, look, when I pass on to spirit myself and I go up expecting to see my mother, what if she's not there? You know, what if she's reincarnated and she's now in India? And his reply was that that doesn't happen, that people will stay to meet and greet, because time
has no meaning, does it?
Time has no meaning, correct, on the other side. So therefore they would ensure that you would be met on the other side. Now, okay, it may sound fanciful and whimsical to some of your viewers, and I appreciate that.
Do you think the barriers between spirituality and science are breaking down? Especially now people go on investigations, they're taking equipment with them, scientific equipment. Also, within the last 50 years, the process of quantum physics has a lot to do with it. What's your take on that? Do you think that the barriers are breaking down, or are they becoming further apart?
No, absolutely not. I think the barriers are breaking down. Science and human understanding, we have a lot to learn. We know that. Understanding is like a big long ladder reaching from the ground into the sky, and humankind is only on the second rung. We're so much to learn, and I think science is starting to produce mechanisms whereby we can look at this different universe, this different. I think it is all dimensional, absolutely. And when we speak about UFOs, it's not necessarily extraterrestrial. Again, it's dimensional.
Now, that's the word. This is where I get interested. Exactly. I think it's this dimensional thing again. Yeah.
And I think that they are, you know, all these different variations and dimensions are there. It's a multi-universe, if you like. You know, the quantum physics. And once we fully understand quantum mechanics, quantum physics, I think the answer will clearly lie in that domain. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, years ago, I read about a device called the Spiricom. This device that you could, you know, it's like, you know, the dead coming through this telephone device, and then you've got the TV sets where on an offset channel you can see photographs or pictures of the deceased and stuff. I think we need to look at ways of going beyond the barriers, going beyond this, because although infrared film is fantastic, videotape, etc., we need more than that.